The site where the Ark of the Covenant was known to have been stored in Israel for 2 decades is about to be excavated for the very first time.
For thousands of years, the Ark of the Covenant has stood as one of the greatest enigmas in both history and faith. The Bible describes it as a sacred chest that carried the very presence of God. Inside, it was said to hold the stone tablets of the 10 Commandments, Aaron's rod that once blossomed with life, and even a golden jar filled with manna, the bread from heaven. Yet, after the destruction of Solomon's first temple in Jerusalem, the Ark vanished without a trace. Its disappearance has fueled endless theories, expeditions, and debates among scholars, treasure hunters, and believers alike. Some claim it still lies hidden deep beneath the Temple Mount. Others believe it was taken to Ethiopia, while some suggest it was lifted into heaven itself. But now, something remarkable has changed. Modern technology has stepped into this age-old mystery. Researchers recently fed thousands of ancient manuscripts, historical documents, and biblical passages into a powerful artificial intelligence system. And what it revealed left even seasoned scientists in shock. Hidden patterns and connections that had been overlooked for centuries suddenly came to light, pointing to secret clues buried within scripture and ancient writings. The findings are so extraordinary, they could completely transform our understanding of the Ark's purpose, its symbolism, and possibly even its true location. And in an even more stunning twist, this same technology has given us a glimpse inside the Ark of the Covenant itself. For the first time, the legendary chest has been virtually opened, its mysteries decoded in a way never before possible. But what exactly did researchers discover? What secrets were hidden within? And how might these revelations reshape not only history, but also faith itself? To understand the weight of these discoveries, we must first look back at the Ark's true significance. According to the Hebrew Bible, it wasn't just a container of sacred relics, it was the very throne of God's presence on earth. Designed with divine instruction and covered in pure gold, the Ark symbolized God's covenant with His people. It carried the stone tablets inscribed with the 10 Commandments, the laws that formed the foundation of Israelite society. Alongside them rested Aaron's miraculous rod and the golden jar of manna, each representing divine power and provision. Now, with AI unlocking secrets that were once thought lost to time, the world is beginning to see the Ark in a whole new light. Beyond its physical function, the Ark was revered as a spiritual symbol. It served as a divine channel, a sacred point where Yahweh, the God of Israel, communicated with Moses and the priests. The Ark also accompanied the Israelites in battles, often playing a critical role in their victories. One notable event occurred during the crossing of the Jordan River, where priests carrying the Ark stopped the river's flow, allowing the people to pass safely. These events made the Ark a powerful symbol of God's presence among the Israelites. The Ark of the Covenant was constructed during the Israelites' time at Mount Sinai, where Moses received the 10 Commandments. It was built alongside the tabernacle, a portable sanctuary for worship. Whenever the Israelites traveled and set up the tabernacle, the Ark was placed in its most sacred chamber, the Holy of Holies, concealed behind a veil. Due to its sanctity, the Ark was surrounded by strict rules. It was kept in a specially designed tent within the tabernacle and guarded by the Levite priests. Only the high priest could enter the Holy of Holies to approach the Ark, emphasizing its sacred and revered status. The unveiling of the Ark of the Covenant offers a window into a profound chapter of human history and spirituality. What the scientists discovered inside, and what these findings signify, could deepen our understanding of this legendary artifact. Stay tuned as we uncover more. The mystery of the Ark of the Covenant, new discoveries and enduring questions. Access to the Ark of the Covenant was strictly limited, even for the high priest, who could approach it only once a year on the Day of Atonement. On this solemn occasion, the high priest would sprinkle blood on the mercy seat to seek forgiveness for the people. While these historical accounts are well documented, recent scientific discoveries have uncovered lesser-known aspects of the Ark that could reshape our understanding. These revelations challenge much of what we thought we knew. The Ark's sacredness demanded strict adherence to prescribed rituals, and any deviation led to severe consequences. For example, Uzzah lost his life after touching the ark to steady it during transport. Similarly, when the Philistines captured the ark, they suffered calamities until they returned it, underscoring its divine power and the reverence it commanded. Given the ark's immense power, it seemed impossible for it to be stolen or hijacked. This raises a perplexing question. How did the Ark of the Covenant vanish from history? The disappearance of the Ark remains one of history's greatest mysteries. The last biblical mention of the Ark is in 2 Chronicles 35:3, where King Josiah instructs the Levites to place it back in the temple during his restoration efforts. After that, its fate is unknown. Many theories attempt to explain what happened to the Ark. One suggests that the Babylonians destroyed or seized it during their conquest of Jerusalem in 586 BCE. However, while historical records detail the Babylonians looting the temple, the Ark is notably absent from the list of stolen items. Another fascinating theory comes from Ethiopian tradition. According to Ethiopian folklore, Menelik I, the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, brought the Ark to Ethiopia. It is said to have been hidden in a temple in Aksum and guarded by monks for centuries. The Kebra Nagast, a 14th-century Ethiopian text, is a key source for this story. It recounts how Menelik traveled to Jerusalem to meet his father, King Solomon. Despite Solomon's desire for Menelik to stay and rule, Menelik chose to return to Ethiopia. Guided by divine intervention, he and his companions secretly transported the Ark back with them. This Ethiopian connection is celebrated in tradition and religion. Every Ethiopian Orthodox church houses a replica of the Ark, known as a tabut, which is paraded during Timket, the church's holiest festival. Additionally, Ethiopia has a long history of Jewish influence, and the Beta Israel community is believed by some to be descended from Menelik or other Israelite migrants. Ethiopian emperors also claim descent from Solomon and Sheba, using this lineage to legitimize their rule. However, while these stories are rich in cultural and spiritual significance, they lack solid archaeological or historical evidence. The alleged site where the Ark is kept remains inaccessible, and its existence is unverified. Adding to the intrigue, there are modern claims of discoveries, such as an Adventist adventurer who alleged he had found the Ark. Unfortunately, like many other accounts, these claims lack credible proof. The Ark of the Covenant remains shrouded in mystery, inspiring both scholarly debate and spiritual devotion. Could recent discoveries bring us closer to the truth, or will the Ark's secrets remain hidden forever? The search for the Ark of the Covenant, hidden theories and fascinating clues. Jewish tradition, as recorded in ancient texts like the Zohar, Talmud, and Midrash, tells of King Josiah foreseeing Jerusalem's fall and taking steps to protect the Ark of the Covenant. He is said to have hidden the Ark and other sacred artifacts in a secret chamber beneath the Temple Mount. According to this account, the entrance to the chamber was sealed and marked as accessible only to the Messiah. Some biblical passages hint that the Ark may have still been in the temple when it was destroyed. This theory has gained traction with archaeological evidence, suggesting the presence of unexplored chambers and tunnels beneath the Temple Mount. Events like the attempted destruction of the Dome of the Rock in 1981, riots sparked by the opening of a tunnel in 1996, and claims made in a 2007 documentary have fueled speculation about the Ark's possible location. However, many scholars remain skeptical, arguing that there is insufficient historical or textual evidence to support these claims. While the Temple Mount theory is popular, others have pursued different leads in the search for the lost Ark. One such avenue involves the Dead Sea Scrolls, particularly the Copper Scroll. Unlike the other scrolls, the Copper Scroll is made of metal and lists 64 locations where treasures, possibly from the temple, were hidden before Jerusalem's destruction in 586 BCE. The intriguing part? The Copper Scroll suggests that the Ark might be near the Dead Sea, potentially along the Jordan River. It mentions a place called the Valley of Acre near Qumran, the very site where the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered. Despite its allure, this theory, like many others, lacks concrete evidence. Claims about the Ark's location remain unsubstantiated, with little archaeological or scientific validation to back them up. Furthermore, Conflicting theories propose various locations for the Ark, adding to the mystery and making it challenging to determine the truth. Over the years, proposed discovery sites have varied widely, creating confusion and leaving the Ark's true whereabouts an open question. However, after decades of speculation, some scientists now believe they have identified a specific site that holds the Ark of the Covenant. Could this be the breakthrough that finally unlocks the mystery? Only time and further investigation will tell. The discovery of the Ark of the Covenant. A remarkable claim. Not only was the Ark of the Covenant reportedly found, but it was also opened, revealing the items hidden within. Here's how this extraordinary discovery unfolded. In the 1980s, Ron Wyatt, a self-taught researcher, made headlines by claiming to have located the Ark beneath Jerusalem. According to Wyatt, he discovered an altar stone that hinted at early Christians recognizing the significance of the area. Further exploration revealed holes believed to have held crucifixion posts, including one that Wyatt suggested was tied to the crucifixion of Jesus. His findings, blending biblical prophecies with archaeological observations, added layers of intrigue to the search for the Ark. He even identified a site he believed corresponded to the biblical account of rocks splitting in grief over Joseph's death. During an excavation of nearby caves, Wyatt and his team claimed to have uncovered the Ark of the Covenant in one of the caverns. In a 1999 interview with Anchorstone International, he shared details of his findings shortly before passing away from cancer. Wyatt described spotting a peculiar black substance dried in a crack in the cave's roof above the Ark, with traces found outside on a stone. He theorized that this crack was connected to the crucifixion of Christ, suggesting that blood and water from Jesus' side wound flowed onto the Ark's mercy seat, echoing Moses' sanctification of the tablets with blood and water. However, Wyatt asserted that he was unable to share photographic or video evidence of the Ark due to what he described as divine intervention. On a subsequent attempt to gather additional proof, Wyatt claimed he encountered 4 angels who warned him not to reveal the discovery until a future spiritual event. This extraordinary discovery, according to Wyatt, came entirely by chance. While traveling with his children in Israel, he suffered a sunburn during a scuba diving trip and decided to return to the U.S. While waiting for his flight, Wyatt took a walk around an ancient stone quarry called the Calvary Escarpment. As he chatted with a local expert about Roman artifacts and casually strolled through the area, something unexpected happened that would forever change the course of his life. Ron Wyatt's discovery, a mysterious journey to the Ark of the Covenant. One day, as Ron Wyatt stood near an old trash dump, something extraordinary happened. His left hand suddenly pointed toward the area and he said, "That's Jeremiah's grotto, and the Ark of the Covenant is in there." These words seemed to tumble out of his mouth unbidden, as though he wasn't fully in control of his actions. This unexpected moment marked the first time Wyatt considered the possibility of digging for the Ark. Even more surprising was the reaction of the man with him, who was normally reserved but became unexpectedly enthusiastic. He offered Wyatt support, permits, accommodations, and meals to help launch the excavation. Despite this generous offer, Wyatt decided to delay any immediate action, opting to conduct more research before proceeding. Wyatt began tracing the biblical accounts of the Ark's last known location. He determined that the Ark's disappearance occurred between 621 BCE, when it was last mentioned in Jerusalem, and 586 BCE, when Nebuchadnezzar destroyed the city and its temple. His study of scriptures revealed detailed inventories of items looted from the temple, including spoons and furniture, but notably absent was any mention of the Ark. Even in Jeremiah 28:3, which lists items returned from Babylon, the Ark was not included. Additionally, earlier conquerors like Shishak and Sennacherib also plundered the temple but left the Ark untouched. This led Wyatt to theorize that the Ark was hidden before the temple's destruction, possibly within the city or just beyond the Babylonian siege walls. Believing the Ark was moved to safety before 586 BCE, Wyatt began excavating near the site he had pointed to earlier. As the excavation progressed, the story became even more extraordinary. Wyatt claimed to have had a vision of Jesus during his time at the site. He described Jesus as wearing a hand-woven garment and saying he was traveling from South Africa to the New Jerusalem. These claims, understandably, have drawn skepticism. Yet the tales grew even more intriguing. Reports emerged of individuals meeting untimely deaths after interfering with the excavation or attempting to enter the site with ill intentions, adding an air of mystery and the supernatural to Wyatt's story. Wyatt also claimed to have entered the Ark chamber multiple times, each visit filled with remarkable and curious details. These accounts, while incredible, remain shrouded in mystery and controversy, leaving us to wonder about the true nature of Wyatt's discoveries. Ron Wyatt's encounters and the controversial discovery of the Ark of the Covenant. In Ron Wyatt's early visits to the excavation site, he didn't actually see the Ark of the Covenant. During one visit, while battling severe illness, he speculated that the Ark was hidden within a stone box before he eventually lost consciousness. On another occasion, he used a medical colonoscope to peer through a crack in the stone box. Through the small opening, he claimed to catch a glimpse of gold, which he believed belonged to the Ark. However, the most astonishing event reportedly occurred during his fourth visit. Wyatt claimed that upon entering the chamber, he discovered that the tons of rocks that had previously filled the space were gone. Instead, the Ark and other temple artifacts were arranged neatly, as if purposefully displayed. It was during this visit that he allegedly encountered 4 angels, who he described as guardians of the Ark since its concealment over 2,600 years ago. The story of Wyatt's discovery has been chronicled by Jonathan Gray, an author who has written extensively about biblical archaeology. Gray's book, Ark of the Covenant, The Case for the True Discovery, echoes Wyatt's claims, presenting a narrative of remarkable findings tied to biblical artifacts. In his book, Gray sought to provide a detailed account of Wyatt's discoveries, including the excavation process, the artifacts allegedly found alongside the Ark, and Wyatt's claims of divine assistance during his exploration. However, the book struggled to provide concrete evidence, offering more of a narrative than a fact-based argument. The book received mixed reviews. Some readers appreciated its compelling storytelling and the effort to present a case for Wyatt's claims. Others criticized it for lacking empirical evidence and scientific rigor, questioning the credibility of the findings. Since Wyatt's passing,